Hey guys, we'll get started soon here. We're just getting some people joining, so just give us some time. All right, everyone, it's 7:02. Thanks for joining us on this virtual meeting. Sorry we're not having it together, but we're not having much attendance anyway. So the EC had a couple of conflicts that we decided just to host it online. Since we have the election coming up here on November, please get out and vote to your conscience and vote who you want. Vote early, vote often, as they'll say, so they can make a sham of the election, I guess. Uh, but we'll have our meeting on the second Monday at Infinity Park. So that is the time to submit any amendments you would like to our bylaws or any procedural things you'd like to do. How much we get paid, what we get paid for mileage, things in ref up, using ref up, taking more of a signers, more bidding, just whatever you guys want to do. Also, if uh, throughout this year, I've been trying to encourage more and more people to be involved in the executive committee. So that would be a time for you guys to kind of get involved and nominate yourself or have someone nominate you. It takes literally a village. And I will say thanks to Katie and Paul, you guys have been tremendous as the voting members of the EC, and then Mike and Brendan have been amazing too for RDOs and vice chairman, and all of our new reps, RDO Brendan and Freon and Joe Burtbow have been doing really well with the RDO stuff. Joe Zevin, you've been doing well with the coaches. We definitely need more coaching. So um, for those of you who are not really refereeing anymore and just want to help out coaching some of the referees, we definitely have a desperate need for more coaching. Paul Pettit, I'm looking at you. Mark Huff, Angela, Dale, Mike Hacker, you've been doing a lot of stuff too. Mike Boyce too. Been great. So a couple things Mike's going to present tonight. Just some clips on the new tackle height law. We've been hearing some reports of like multiple yellow cards for that, and that's not really the expected outcomes for that tackle, the high tackle. It's just kind of like it's basically just the increase of player welfare, but it doesn't really necessarily lead to yellow cards unless it's like really team repetitive. But Mike will go over some of that. Brandon has a couple promotions. We'll go over a recap of how Aspen went, and just some general discussion about some of your games this weekend. We have so many games to cover on the weekend. Thank you all for jumping in there and taking 1, 2, 3 assignments. We're trying to get a level 1 scheduled for maybe end of November, early February. For those that need a level 2, there is a level 2 on the November 15th and 16th in Utah that we would be happy to like rent a van and make a road trip for all those referees that need a level two. Katie and I and Mike will send out an email with more about that. Mike, well, let me just recap Aspen. So it was another interesting year. We asked some referees to kind of pull back from coming up, and thank you all of Joe Olivetti and those who volunteered to do that. I think that the right number going forward is about 4 teams of 3 can cover the entire weekend. There's only 2 games on Thursday, which is not great. There's only about 6 games on Friday, and maybe about 8 games on Friday, but 3 of them canceled, 2 of them canceled. There's about 12 games, 12 to 15 on Friday, which was good, but then because of the weather, they canceled like the semifinals, I think on Saturday. So there was no open play semifinals, and there was no women's semifinal. So that was unfortunate. So we lost a lot of our referees, lost some really great games, and then the finals was only 6 games, right? So that's not a massive workload. We are trying to get some different exchanges out there. I know we're working with the RFU to bring over 2 or 3 referees, and I gotta hopefully exchange with the Ireland Rugby Referee Union to bring over some. But overall, it was pretty good. The final appointments were Freon did the over 60s final, did a great job with it. Brighton Kumala did the over 50s final. I forgot. Oh, Noah Lalonde did the over 55s final. Lindsay Oliver, our guest from Southeast Rugby Referees, did the women's final. And the over 40s final went to Brendan Castro. And then Mike Lawrenson did the open final, which was a very, very interesting game, very good game. We had about 3 or 4 coaches, 5 coaches actually, and pretty much almost every match got some development on. So really good stuff. We are looking next year to get a hotel in town just for our basis of headquarters, and the commute to Snowmats was an interesting dilemma. It took about 90 minutes out of our day to get that. So it really kind of messed up the meetings. It really we had no flow to the weekend. Yeah, it was an interesting thing. So we as an EC gotta figure out a little bit better plan for that. Yeah. Okay. So any questions on that? Mike, if you want to proceed with your tackle clips, that'd be awesome.
Hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay. So, just this is in the game management guidelines, and I'm sure we'll send this out after the meeting. I can just put in the chat right now too, so that you have it. Or Mark can do that because I don't know how to get there. But here's a new tackle height trial law, and we can read through this again. Just some key things to notice. We're looking for open field play, right? So we're looking for tackles in open field. Collisions in this aspect of the game, like pick and drive, are not at high speed and are really dangerous. So the new law does not apply to those situations. It also recognizes that players attempting to ground the ball and in goal are often diving downwards. So there are some things that we don't look at. But the big thing that we want to talk about is the goals for it. Obviously, we want to get tacklers to tackle lower, right, for more safety. And other countries have done it really successfully. And it is taking like a little bit of a growing pains of us getting used to what's okay and what's not okay. And I feel like there are a lot of the teams are not sure where the referees are officiating it because they're also going through those growing pains, and that's okay. So we have to respect that and try and talk to them about it before the game. I think a good thing to remember is that the tackle height, this is not a chance for us to try and get more penalties out in the game. We want to reduce penalties. So it's more of like a license for you as a referee to call a high tackle that may not have met the threshold before, and now you're not being challenged. Like it hit the shoulder, sir. Now you have the license to call that a high tackle, but it doesn't necessarily mean that every tackle that is above that, or in this area here where it's above the base of the sternum, see how it says maybe penalized. It doesn't mean that we need to call every one. And the reason why I wanted to go through it today is because a lot of them that what we're noticing in some of our games in Rocky Mountain are being called unnecessarily, and it's increasing the amount of penalties, and it's kind of making it difficult for the players to understand what is okay and what's not, because some referees are leaving them and some are not. So hopefully this meeting will give us some calibration, although it is tough to decide because each situation is different. So like Mark said, there'll never be a yellow card here for a tackle that's in this yellow. There'll never be a yellow card for that unless you've gone through the protocol of multiple infringements and you've spoken to the captains and it's continued. Then yes, we can go through that, but that is a different scenario. That is not a yellow card for a high tackle, but more for multiple infringements. So second thing is some of them are going to be player caused by the ball carrier, sorry. So that would change the situation too. But the dangerous actions by the ball carrier is also an option that we need to look at, and that's tacklers dropping their height, or ball carriers, sorry, dropping their height at the last second and using their head as a attack, or trying to force the tackler to tackle a high. These are also a penalty kick against the ball carrier. All right. So I got some clips here, and hopefully they work well on it. I just want to discuss them, and then maybe we can get some clips and we can get everyone to throw some comments in and see what you guys think about what you think is the tackle or not, or is a foul play or not. Okay. Just to clarify, there is a head contact process here, and this is all for tackles that are low here. Once we hit this red area, we're going to be focusing mostly on the head, or actually we're just going to be following this protocol, the head contact protocol. So these things don't apply, and we go straight to here, and we go through our guidelines here. So first thing was there foul play? So this is important. Was it intentional? Was it reckless and avoidable? If there is no foul play, there is no height, there is no tackle, there is no yellow card or sanction, really. It's just a rugby incident. So a good example of that would be, the ball is loose and two players are going for it and they hit heads. Now, a lot of people will be looking high tackle, but if both players are going for the ball and they're both in a legal position, and it's just unintentional, then that's just a rugby incident. That's play on. Unfortunately, obviously you can stop the game if you need to, if there's clearly a head injury, but there is no one at fault there, so there's no foul play. So without foul play, we don't go through this protocol. So there needs to be first foul play, then you check the degree of danger, and then mitigation, and then factors against mitigation to go through. Okay, so let's go through some quick videos. Let me know if this works well. I actually don't know the order of these, but let's take a quick look. And let me know if this works well. Just in terms of, can you see it? Okay, and that's the tackle there. So let's talk about, is this going to fit the framework? I'm going to go through frame by frame.
Mike, I don't think you're sharing your screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Which screen am I sharing?
I can see it,
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah,
but I
I'm
can't
good
see when
on
Brandon
you
continues
sharing
to
your.
comment.
We're good now. We're good now. Sorry.
You can see it?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the contact. Go to the frame. So mostly what we're looking for here, is does the tackler have enough time to make a different decision? Okay. We're looking for open field tackles, right? So this is a good calibration. This is the open field tackle. Tackler has time. There's no huge change in dynamics from this player. This is a high tackle. Yeah. There is no head contact here. From what I can see, no neck contact. So this is a high tackle that fits that framework. He had time to make a better decision. He tackled high. This is a good one to call for high tackles, especially to set a standard that this is not acceptable. Sure. I think Brandon calls this one too. Yep. Okay. Flip. This one might be a difficult one. We'll come back to that one. Okay, let's talk about this one.
Out into the width. This is Davis. Nice offload to.
Okay, I'll come back. Go to frame to frame. Okay. According to the framework, right? Naturally, this would be maybe penalized. Sorry, I went back too far. However, it's a soft tackle, a lot of bodies. She hits the ball. This is something that I would say we can play through and maybe one player. It's not something we want to chase. She kind of got caught off guard there, thrown to the ground. So for me, not a high tackle here. I mean, it is a high tackle in terms of that framework, but not one that we want to chase and penalize. Check another one.
Mathis. This is commit.
Okay, tough one here with the angle. Let's see.
On Alice, gets some meters, penalty.
However, if we're chasing these all day, you're gonna have penalties to almost every collision here. It's open field for sure.
This is
Tackler does drop and ball carrier does drop.
commit.
She kind of hits on her shoulder. This one is definitely liable for a penalty. And if you feel like this is the temperature of the game, this is definitely not needed. This is one that you want to throw out for sure. No, this is not good enough. We need you to get lower. Although, and she's going up. Although in an open field for me, this is something that I would be okay with playing through. Just because it's a really passive tackle. We're looking for mostly ones that are in open field. You have a lot of time. You don't really bend. It's an upright tackle. Let's see if I can find another example of that. So here's a great one. This is on the kickoff. A lot of times kickoffs, this is one of the ones we want to catch because there's so much time for the tackler to do something different. We go through frame by frame here. So around the shoulder. Would you say this one is high? Yes, he had a lot of time to do a different decision. He could have easily tackled lower here. Probably here in his waist would have been a better tackle. Early in the game, open field on the kickoff. This is a gift. Big penalty here. Set the standard. Okay. If everyone wants to try and have a go here, we'll put it in the chat and see what you guys think. Put the next one in. So we can have you can put in the chat here when you're ready. Not yet. Let's go for, you just put in play on. You put in PK or yellow card. Okay, so those are the three. And then wait for me to tell you after the clip when to do it. Okay. We'll watch it one more time. Put in the chat. Play on, PK, yellow card. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome. Yeah. So I think we're mostly calibrated there. Some of you are saying PK, and although it does fit that guideline that we're looking for, this soft tackle, not soft tackle, but it is one that we would like to just play through. It's not high enough that we need to chase this penalty. We can play through this one. We can encourage them to get lower, but just use management on this case. So just a good play on this penalty. This referee calls a penalty. This is too high of a standard. We'll have too many penalties if we do that. Okay. Let's try another one. Let's take a look. This might be a good one. Okay, we ready?
To the 22, doesn't matter because it's not going into touch. So here come the Bobcats. Bobcats.
Oh, it's already there.
To the 22, doesn't matter because it's not going into.
There it is. Okay, real quick. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, very good. All right, we're all on the same page. It meets that threshold in terms of what they showed us, but it's not. It's a passive tackle. They had enough time, but really not one that we want to chase. Good job. Here we go, another one.
Taking place at the 2028 Olympics in LA. You just got to hop on a cross-country flight, not a transatlantic flight.
Yeah.
Go slowly for you. Great. Okay, Katie, do you want to tell me why you say yellow card?
Yeah. I see foul play because it's always an upright tackle. There is head contact because it seems head-to-head collision. So I'm a yellow card or red card, honestly, since it's direct contact to the head. I think it's low force, so there's a low degree of danger, which puts me at yellow card.
Okay, so we went to foul play. Yes, it was intentional. It was kind of reckless. She could have avoided it. We went direct contact, but it was low force. So we're thinking yellow card. Direct with low force is yellow card. However, head-to-head contact. Yeah, it's fine. If there's mitigation, then we should be fine. Okay, let's look again.
Yeah.
Transatlantic flight.
Yeah.
Atlantic flight.
Yeah.
Oh, I pushed the wrong button.
You just got to hop on a cross-country.
A good trigger to see if there's head contact is if there's whiplash. You know, if the head goes forward and then back, most likely they were hit pretty hard and they had a whiplash. If the head just goes back, that's directly head contact. Okay, let's try another one. That's the contact there. Okay, let's assume there was no head contact here. See that high on the shoulder. What are you thinking here? Tackler assist is also held to the same standard as a tackler. You don't get a liability. You don't get freedom because you're a tackler assist. If you're the second tackler, you still have to tackle below the sternum. Okay, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah, and this is a good clip because this one could for me go either way. You know, we could do a play on here depending on how that contact looks. It looks a little passive. You know, depending on the temperature of the game, the time in the game. This is also a very good one for penalty kick because he had a chance to do something different. However, the only difference that makes it for me very mitigating is that the ball carrier, you see here, drops his height. And 16 is also low, so he's not an upright tackler. He's trying to tackle low, and he drops at the last second. So again, kind of puts himself in this weird position that it's going to be lit. But I do think that he could get lower. So these are the ones that you would have to judge as a referee if this is worth penalty or if it's, you know, somewhat of White's fault. So a tough clip, and I'm sorry I can't give you a different answer just because of the angles, but these are ones that, you know, in this referee penalty. Reaction, you know, that they weren't happy with the high tackle. So good time in the game, 49 minutes. Still lots of time to go. Not a huge decision that's going to give them the win or anything like that. So good one. All right, I think I got one more. This is a difficult one. Let's see what you guys think. That was it. One more time. Sometimes it's best to watch these at live speed rather because it's just like a game. So I'm just going to watch it live speed only. Okay, see what we think. High tackle, do we think it's a PK play on or yellow card? Ready? 3, 2, 1. So a good thing to recognize here is that if there is no head contact or neck contact, we never go yellow card. It's never going to fit the yellow card because we never go to the head contact protocol. So if there is no head contact, we'd never have a yellow card. So then we'll just be stuck with, is it a PK or is it play on? Now, this one, she definitely gets caught out of, you know, like kind of gets caught with it. There's definitely other players in the area. So potential to play on. However, I do feel strongly that this player could have got lower. And it just seems a little dangerous at that point, especially with the line break, that a PK definitely could be warranted. However, there is no head contact, so we can never go yellow card here. She hits it in the chest, soft tackle. But yes, high. It feels a little uncomfortable. You kind of agree with that? I would be okay with the referee giving a high a PK here, and I'd be okay with the referee saying, okay, play on. It wasn't really intentional. You know, it was difficult to be avoidable. So, let me take a look at that. Let me see. Honestly, it could be head contact, Trey. I'm not sure, but in this instance, it seems like Marlena, who's the ref here, that even play, so probably not head contact. So yeah, hopefully that helps. You know, again, just to kind of reiterate what we're talking about, go look at this framework, this one here especially. You know, here we go. Here's a secondary tackler must also tackle below the sternum. Here on some good situations, open field tackling, ball carrier lowers height. If you're tackling there, it's play on. This is in the green, play on. You know, 2 tacklers, both tacklers must be low. This is play on. We don't want to chase these. We don't want to get the penalty counts too high. We want to try and use reasons for mitigation. Look for reasons for mitigation here, especially if it's below the head. You know, looking for the big open field ones. So kickoffs, you know, big kick returns, tackles out in the back line where it's wide open, you know, look for those ones where the tackler just had a lot of time to do something different. Let's push for those ones. Let's not chase the ones that are in close contact with a lot of people, and the ones that aren't really that high or that strong of a tackle. Look for big dominant tackles. You know, the big dominant tackle above the sternum, open field, that's a good one to set that tone on. Remember that there's no yellow card available unless it is in the head contact process. So unless we've gone head or neck, that's when we start looking at yellow card. Any questions or comments about that? any concerns or
I noticed a lot of the clips were from Advantage. Can you show everyone how to like kind of go there and look themselves for those kind of clips?
great? Yeah, great point. So if you log into Advantage, which you all have an account there, and if you don't, just contact Mark. So we'll go to the homepage here. This is my account. I'll just go to meetings, and you can just click here anything you want to click. So I click foul play, and you can see different people that have tagged foul play, when it was, who they're playing, and who the referee was, and you can just click them. So right here, that's where I stole that clip from. If I want to look at, I'm really messing up lineouts or messing up scrums, or even just tackles, ball carrier not releasing, just giving you a lot of options to look at a lot more stuff. It's very nicely clipped for you, not all of them have the answer of them, but at least you can see them, what they're looking for, or you can search for something too. So, is that pretty good, Mark?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, if you want to watch a whole match, you can go here. You can pick which competition you want to watch, whether it's ARP, D2 men, or even I think you can pick a referee if you want to see what the referees have done.
That's great.
Awesome. Hope that helps. If you have any questions, just shoot them my way.
One question, Mike. Adam here.
Yeah, hit me, Adam.
How important is consistency, and thinking about calling those ones early and often, and then sometimes I feel you can back yourself into a corner later on in the game, right?
Totally. Yeah, exactly right. So that's why you don't want to be too harsh on it in the beginning. You definitely want to look for those ones that are good examples of setting the standard, right? So don't chase one that doesn't look right, it's not perfect. So the ones that are great are the ones on the kickoff, the ones that are on the kick chase. Those ones are good ones to set early, because those ones, that standard is going to be the high the whole time. But yes, definitely be careful of overshooting too early and then having to leave them later. Once you set your standard, that's your standard, and you need to do that for both teams. But yeah, standard setters, I don't think we should chase standard so much, but chase accuracy. And so the ones that are you're like, this one's a high tackle, I'm gonna call this one. Those are the ones that you should go for, rather than one that and that's setting the standard is the one that's okay, the standard is high, or the standard is not high, but the standard is this level, the one that you're not happy with, and that's setting a standard. If you don't call those ones that are clear and obvious, then you've lost the opportunity to set that standard. And if those opportunities don't come, then you just have to wait, or you get lucky, that the game doesn't have any high tackles. So I don't think you should chase a standard, if that makes sense. Like, don't say, oh, I need to get the standard set so they know what it is. If there's no high tackles, good on them. Let's play rugby. If there is, though, don't miss that opportunity, that gift to set a standard early. So keep your standard. Look for those ones that are. Go ahead.
I think areas of the game, like Mike said, is really when players are isolated. On a kickoff, everyone's kind of spread apart the field. On kick chases, back and forth. It's really those open field runnings, like the ball carrier puts a good move out and jukes the person, and that tackler has to readjust, and he's not in a good position, so he leaps and jumps around the neck. It's not really at coming off rucks, coming off mauls, those kind of crash plays, where there's a lot of congestion. It's really those open field tackles is where we really want to concentrate on getting these calls right. So near goal line, crash ball, close to ruck, players running off the ruck, that maybe where we would lower our standard a bit. But open field tacklers, kickoffs, returning kicks in general play, that's where we really want to focus on that.
And you're going to get challenged. I mean, I know that you've all been challenging like that one's high because they don't know these protocols or what we're looking for. They just know this crazy picture that they've seen that anything above the sternum is there. So use that opportunity to say mitigating factors like the ball carrier dropped their height or change in direction or unavoidable or or just don't even answer them, depending on the case. But don't be afraid to challenge them. Just because they're shouting and it doesn't mean that it exists. They just don't know. They're not sure what you're looking for. So maybe explain to them before the game what it looks like. We're looking on upright tackles and open field. Yeah, so use a good opportunity before the game to talk about these things because it's new for them too, and they're worried about what you're going to be doing, what you're looking for.
Hey guys, this is Dale. So that guidelines that sent out a month or so ago in the meeting, that was actually very helpful. What I've been doing is printing that off and just giving it to the coaches, and it goes over everything just very explicitly about, it's not intended for, up close, punch and go through the rucks. It's open field. So, and I've had pretty good success with that. The coaches were, oh, I heard there are some changes, but I don't know what they really are. So that's helped out. That's helped me quite a bit.
Love it. Okay, I think that's it for me. I know Brandon wanted to share some clips as well.
That's great. Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it. Brandon, let's see what you got.
Yeah, I was gonna actually just kind of keep going down this route. Mike was pretty much on the tackle route. I'm kind of going a more general. Let me see if I can share here. Are you all seeing the shared screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. So just for your all's information who are here online, like this is kind of the similar reviews that we do in the high performance groups with like D1 or like Mike with like ARP, WPL. Like I know that these are very common things that we discussed in our meetings. And I think these clips are pretty cool and give us a true visual, and they're a visual of like the games that we're actually doing. So I clipped a bunch of stuff. We're not going through all of these. Mike kind of covered some things. Some of these are kind of redundant. So I'm going to go through a couple, just some things I think would be nice to, you guys can comment. Some of these I think are just examples. But yeah, I'm open to hear feedback. So these are all from our RMRR referees. So this one, I like to talk about scrum advantage, and I'm going to do a penalty kick advantage. And I want to just talk about the differences there. So this is a scrum advantage not gained in my match. So middle of the field, scrum advantage, and then a kick away. So wanted to see what you all thought, if you agree or not. So scrum advantage given here, kicked, bounced into touch. For me, that was not a clear advantage gained, back to the scrum near halfway. Thoughts? Agree, disagree? Cool. Fine. Everyone's happy with that. That's fine. All right. Hard to see where the ball went out. Yeah, it went out like just past the 10-meter line, so not too much of a gain there either. So just some context there. And then I would like to go back to back to a different one, which is penalty kick advantage. So same game. So penalty kick advantage, what I'm looking for is more so, well, I guess to wrap up the scrum advantage, we're looking for just clear possession. Are they able to play the ball as they wish, similar to how they would get a ball off the back of the scrum? With a penalty kick advantage, we're thinking of more of truly tactical or big territorial equivalent to a penalty kick. So a penalty kick, they're kicking for touch, right? So here we have players offside in the line out, penalty advantage. and they run to probably 10 meters away from end goal, advantage over. Everyone's happy with that. So when we look back to the game management guidelines, they do talk about scrum versus penalty advantage, and they are different. What we're looking for is scrums, just the clear and real possession. Do they have control? Are they playing as they wish, as if it would come off of the back of a scrum? For a penalty kick advantage over, we do want to see a clear territorial tactical advantage. So I hope that those kind of gave a clear picture of maybe more so for those scenarios. All right. Let's see what else we can look at. I need the ruck, late tackle, contact in that. This high tackle, actually, Mike already reviewed that. This one is more of a talking scenario or a feedback scenario from you all. So same match of mine. Just what do you see here? I played through this and just wondering what do you all think? Until the knock on. I'll play it again. I can move this thing out of the way. So you have a contested ruck with some sloppy ball that still come back to the attacking side. And out of this, they have a scrum advantage back to a knock on. So
you were playing.
I don't know if anybody
Brandon?
else. I was on this. So this whole tackle ruck scenario, sloppy ball came out, nothing from me. And all we got out of this was back here, a scrum advantage to blue. Nothing comes of it. So scrum. So we just basically missed a whole lot of sloppy ball at this breakdown. And so what I want to point out is this ball ends up on more so on this side of this right side of this ruck. And I am stuck back here where I don't have a very good sight on this ball. So a very good indicator typically is see this ball is over here where all these magic hands are happening and all this playing on the ground. And I'm over here and there's no clear sight for me. And there's clearly a sloppy ball out, right? Like this ball just spits out and all of a sudden it's in Blue's hands. Like it's a very good indicator for you as a trigger point, as a referee. Like, why does this ball coming out sloppily? Something happened in this and I didn't have a clear view. So one, we always talk about positioning. So my effort level was not enough for this contested breakdown to get to where I needed to be. I should have worked. I have a lot more gas in the tank than jogging like this, especially to get inside of that ball. So just have those triggers for yourself of working hard to get into a position where you can actually adjudicate a contested breakdown and find the first infringements. Whites, hands in, off their feet. A lot of messiness happens there. So Don says play on. I don't know if anyone else would play. I think for me, this is a missed infringement by White with off feet and hands in the ruck. Hands by someone. Yeah, usually if the ball's coming out sloppily, it's probably by the defending team. So good clip on working hard to get into position to see the ball, adjudicate the ruck properly. Bailed out by a knock on. Blue retains possession.
Brandon, can I be really annoying for a second?
Go for
could
it.
you possibly redo the first clip? Because I think I have a question. And people have responded to me, but I cannot see their responses. But I have like a question as a scrum half.
Would you like the first clip as in the one that I was just talking about?
The first clip that they kicked
hold
away.
on, guys.
The very
My
first
file alarm just went off. Hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All pure chaos just happened in my house, and all my fire alarms were going off. Okay, so sorry, Carla. Can you repeat what just you said?
On the very first clip that you did.
The scrum advantage.
Yes, that they kicked it away.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it. And yeah, I actually, yeah, so I'll play it again. Hold up. Oh, shoot. Try to. Okay, so scrum advantage is now. Kicked away. So I came back to a scrum. For me, that was kind of, I came back to a scrum. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
So blue had advantage and blue kicked it away.
Correct.
And it went out by the opposing team's try line.
No, probably like, oh my fuck.
I'm kind of with Carly on this one. I feel like if the ball bounced in, it's not the try line, it's a 22, but if it went out by the 22, for me, this is an advantage game.
Okay, yeah. That was I can't see exactly where it went out. But that's why I'm like, as a 9 and somebody that likes to play a tactical game like that, for me, that would be pretty good advantage because now I've transferred the pressure. But again, I can't see exactly where the ball is going out.
Yeah, it's not really optimized. I feel like, the big question is, did they have enough time and space to make a good kick? That was kind of a kick under pressure there. So, could easily have been one that we don't, we're like, oh, maybe they wanted a better space here. You can see the 9 under pressure when he kicks the ball. Maybe he just wants a scrum with less pressure. Maybe they have a dominant scrum and they prefer the scrum. That changes all those things where it's like, okay, is that enough advantage for them? Or do you feel like the scrum is a better option for them? But yeah, 25-meter gain and a kick, it's pretty good. Yeah, it could be a scrum advantage over. But again, it's up to the referee's discretion.
Sure. And yeah, this wasn't, I think Adam said either way, like if you're kind of taking the context of the game, maybe like the scrum is more powerful for them, or that would, like, you see that as under pressure. So yeah, I think that's actually totally fair to say that this could have been advantage over with the territorial game. So.
Well, thank you.
Hey,
I
Brendan.
think it would be important too not to call advantage over too quickly, because again, you call advantage over here and he kicks it out on the full, right? Then they haven't gained that advantage. I've caught myself in that one a few times.
Yeah, so like my kind of trigger for scrum advantage is more so like clear possession and like not under pressure. So one, we're at halfway, right? So I don't think that they're under pressure necessarily, and they are attacking forward. And like you said, so I have scrum advantage here, so I'm waiting for a phase or two of clear possession and secured ball before I'm calling advantage over. So yeah, patience is key. Like with advantage, you can always come back to it, right? 15, 20 meter gain. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I think more people are more so that, yeah, I could have definitely played as advantage over. You gained territory down the field. Let's go. Cool. Let's see a fun one. High tackle. We did that. Let me see.
Brendan, when you're
I
next
like
fighting,
this. Say it again.
Brendan, when you're fighting the next clip, I just have a different philosophy regarding scrum advantage. So a lot of referees play what we call reactionary advantage. They see an infringement and then they just throw their arm out and say advantage. Regarding scrum advantage, if you see a knock on or forward pass, challenge yourself to vocalize what you've seen. That's a forward pass, that's a knock on. Then give yourself like a moment or two to see if the non-offending team is actually going to gain a reasonable advantage. Are they gaining possession? Is it like just sloppy ball where they immediately knock it on again, or there's a bunch of people around them? And if there is no real advantage going to come on to play, you can just blow your whistle and go back to the scrum. So just kind of say the infringement, forward pass or knock on. Give yourselves like a breath or two to kind of observe what's going on. You know, like, does the team actually going to have a chance to pick up the ball? Is it immediately knocked on? Is it a 3-on-2 against the defense? Like, just give yourself. And then basically when the non-defending team picks up the ball and has an opportunity to play it, after you observe everything, you can kind of decide for yourself, no, that is going to gain advantage. You can basically put advantage on 1, 2, 3 passes away, advantage over, and you look like a hero instead of just immediately saying advantage on those kind of knock on. So again, just reverse the way you say the infringement, like knock on blue, have a look, think about something. I'm going to play scrum advantage. 1 pass, 2 pass, scrum advantage over. Okay, Brandon, thanks. Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. I think we might have lost Brandon, but
I am like fighting a fire in my house right now. I am Mike, if you want to take over and look at the folder clip, you can, but
we're good.
I think that was all the clips that Brandon wanted to show too, so that's pretty good, Mark.
Yeah, pretty light meeting today. I think there's a couple of promotions, but we can wait for November. Those have been already added to Ref Up, and then Brendan's obviously house is on fire today, so we're obviously not going to get to that. I don't think Paul has joined us, but again, I wanted to thank everyone.
I'm on.
Oh,
I'm on.
Paul, do you have anything you want to add?
I do, yeah, actually. First of all, I want to thank everyone for responding to the weekly call outs for referees that I have. It's usually the same games every week, the high school stuff, and really do appreciate the people that have jumped in there and helped us out with that. Next couple weeks don't look too bad, but I do have a couple more needs at the high school girls at Regis High School this Saturday. Most of the Sierra teams have joined in on that tournament, so it's a little bit longer of a day, and I've increased the number of refs needed. So if you have a couple hours, really actually between the hours of like 11 and 2, it would be much appreciated if you could jump on and put a bid in. They're going to throw some coaches and help us out when necessary, but we need a couple more referees for that. But outside of that, that's really my biggest need for this weekend. And I do, again, appreciate everyone's help this season with filling all the holes.
Yeah, we've really been working hard to cover a lot of these games, but we do need immediate needs right now. Is we need to get some more people refereeing. I did went in there and send an email out all to the level 10s who were not registered with USA Rugby. So hopefully we can tidy that up. And then there's a few 7, 8, 9s that can no longer see games. And the reason for that is I did go in there and audit everyone's registration process. So if you are having trouble registering with USA Rugby, getting your safe port, getting your background check, please reach out to one of the EC and we can help you out. I know last meeting Brendan sent out a video on how to do this. It is super easy. But there was if you're a level 10 referee and you got an email from me like a week ago, you're not removed, but we need you to get in there and register. And there's a few one-offs, levels 5 through 9 that got an email from you, a text message from me that we need to get you registered, and hopefully you replied to me and said that you are all squared away. But yeah, if you know anyone that wants to referee, wants a friend to referee, know any players that were injured and feel they make a contribution. We are definitely hurting on referees, and we're looking for a level 1 end of November or maybe early February. And again, we have that opportunity. Take a level 2 the 15th and 16th of November. And how you would find that class is you would go into Rugby Explore and look for, let me see if I can share my screen here. Find that, let me find that. So you just go to Rugby Explorer. Log in. Go to, here's where you would go to register. And then here's the Learning Center, which is under another platform, Docebo. Let that load here for a second. Go to course catalog right here. Search for level 2 right here. And here's all the level 2s. So this one's going to be on the 15th and 16th in Utah. Okay. Does anyone want to talk about anything that happened in their games or something they would like to share?
Actually,
If you want.
I actually
Sorry,
do have something.
Paul, go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah. So, by experience, it is important to get match rosters on the day. I have thought for the longest time that we'd have access to match day, as the teams are required to submit their rosters in match day for eligibility and league game tracking purposes and everything else like that. I found that we do not have access to match day to check those rosters. So if and when you do have a card and you think that you can go in and get that, get the name of the number that you carded, we do not have that access. So, and I'm owning this one. So if you can, as part of your pre-match warm-up, ask the teams for a roster so that if you do have any yellow or disciplinary matters, you can refer to that after the match is over.
Okay, I'll share. Well, my fire has been defeated, and I'm not going back to any clips, but I have just like one more comment if we're kind of just closing with a few things. I don't know if this has been said already. Both of these referees are not on the call right now, but we will announce it again. Brighton Kumalo, as well as Kyle Carnahan, received promotions over this past month. Kyle has been promoted to level 8, and Brighton has been promoted to level 6. So if you do see them, you can congratulate them at a tournament or anything like that. That'd be great. We've been working and diligently like kind of sifting through the matches throughout the weeks and trying to get coaches assigned to matches, trying to spread the love to everybody. We're not just trying to focus on like one or specific individuals. We're trying to get every single person here coached up. So they're one, if you feel like you are needing a coach for a specific match for support, or if you're not getting the coaching, like please let me know. We are trying to get it spread out, as it is hard for us to cover matches. Most of our coaches are also referees, so we're trying to find the time to get that, or the availability to get them to coach our referees as well. And then we're trying to get you all promoted. We would love to just get you to that next level if that is your goal. I mean, the more people that we have that are more coached up and more at a higher level, we can cover more matches, which is awesome. So that is our goal. We are trying to get the coaches out there. So bear with us as we are getting a few coaches out there every weekend. So hopefully it's you all are seeing that, and we're going to continue doing that. So.
Yeah, and the best way to obviously do that too is, like, Brendan Kerfossi asked me to coach his match last weekend, and I was happy to oblige. But most every game is getting video recorded. So take your computer or take some sort of way in your pre-match confirmation. Say, are you videoing the match? Am I able to rip that game from the video recorder? Talk to the video recorder. Ask him not to stop and start the match so that you can get the entirety of the match, and then just throw it on your computer. Brendan, Mike, Katie, myself can all, like, upload that into Advantage. You can create a report, but just basically getting video is a really easy way to get some coaching on that, because we don't have to really be there at Saturday at 1 o'clock when we're doing other things. We can get that video coded, coached on throughout the week, and then you get some development that way as well.
Yep, it's huge. I was able to, Joe Olivetti did his first video ever in Advantage a couple weeks ago. He asked me to review it, and we did just a formal review, coaching through it, tagged everything. So it's a game changer, being able to see your matches, being able to actually see how many penalties, how many scrums, and if you're just kind of how the match develops. And then also bonus, if you're able to get audio, you really can see how you truly manage a match and see what you say, and you're able to kind of change your script a little bit from that. So bonus if you can get your audio into it as well. And suggestions for that are, I'm sure every referee does something different. I just use the voice recording memo on my phone, and I put it in my pocket, and it works the best for me. So other referees use, like, these different microphones that can Bluetooth to the camera, all that stuff. I've always had trouble with that. I just use my phone. So let us know if you have any questions. We can always help you, give you suggestions.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, so thanks everyone for your time. That was exactly an hour, and that's pretty good. We will resume our in-person meeting. And then again, we have our AGM, which we have about right now 58 to 63 people registered with USA Rugby. So we do need a quorum of half of those people for the December meeting. That will be the first meeting, the first Monday of December at Infinity Park Courthouse. Very important meeting because it is the future. And if you are really interested in running, or if you have some sort of skill or gift in your off when you're not refereeing, we definitely could use the help, and we can find a role for you for sure. If you have any ideas of what you would like to propose as a new policy or procedure, please send that on over to the EC, and I look forward to seeing you all. We're almost at the end of the season, but we still have 3-4 weeks of just a lot of rugby. So get in Advantage, get your bids. If there's something, if you go to rmrr.co/assignments, you can see all the assignments. So maybe you're an up and coming referee like Joe Olivetti or Kyle Carnahan, and there's an opportunity for a game that you cannot see in Ref Up. Feel free to reach out to Brendan, myself, or Mike, or Paul, or Katie, really anyone in the EC, and say, hey, I would like to bid on this game, but I can't really see it. Can I give it a shot? And we'll definitely consider where you are in your development. Okay, so with that, I thank you for everyone. Angela and Dale will be sending this email out. I've been trying to record a lot of the meetings and put them on YouTube, but I'm getting some sort of violation of YouTube's policy. So like the last 2 meetings, are not up on YouTube, so I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll definitely send out the game manager guidelines, and I'll try to load this video again. All right, thank you everyone, and keep on keeping on.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.